I wanted to ask you because you and John Cusack are both playing the same character in the same film, but at different points in Brian Wilson's life. Did you talk to John before you guys started shooting to sort of see where you're going with the character and have some similarities, or was it completely independent performances?
I don't think we talked at all. I think we met when I was finishing and he was starting. I think Bill Polat, our director, thought that if we just sort of both follow our respective Brians, it would work. And I do think Brian's spirit just sort of led us there. And I also think the juxtaposition of the two is important to sort of how, you know, the young guy in the studio, like full of, you know, life and could, you know, and then this guy who's sort of, you know, been through something, where those come together and where they meet. That's, I think, part of just how the story functions. So.
Was there ever any talk about maybe you playing both versions of Brian or having one actor play both? Or was it always the idea, we're going to cast two different actors to play two different points
I
of life?
think so.
Okay.
I think so. I think that was, you know, and I like the way that Oren, our writer, and Bill sort of approached it, which was like, if we really focus intensely on these two different points in his life, maybe that gives us the closest essence of Brian, rather than trying to go birth to present day and just like, you know, so I'm not sure. Yeah, we'd have to ask Bill, but I think it was always two, yeah.
What was the research process like for you? I mean, did you look at a lot of old film, old video of Brian to see him at that period?
Yeah, I mean, so
Are you a
much.
Beach Boys expert at this point?
I became so obsessed with the music. I mean, but books, you know, photos, video, blah, 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 you know, talking to people he worked with, you know, everything. But it was really the music, you know, listening to it, listening to the studio sessions, then learning to play the piano and singing. I mean, doing that every day, playing and singing those songs, that's what, you know, really kind of brought me to Brian, I feel.
I love the scenes with Brian and the Wrecking Crew.
Yeah.
And I actually recently saw a documentary about the
yeah,
Wrecking
you saw
Crew.
that.
Yeah, and I got to interview Blaine and all those
Oh, cool.
guys.
Yeah. Nice.
And I loved that was in the film. Could you talk a little bit about the importance of those musicians to Brian Wilson and the evolution of his musical career through that?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I feel like Brian had so much coming out of him. You know, he was taking something in and it was pouring out, and he needed those guys to you know, he couldn't do it all. I mean, he needed somebody to help him to say, I got this idea, and, you know, make him better. You know, the way we like to collaborate with people who are the best, you know, and those guys loved Brian. They looked up to him. They respected. He was doing stuff that they had never been asked to do, never had thought of. I mean, he pushed. I mean, he went to a new place, you know. And we had Brian's real band play the Wrecking Crew, and we filmed in the studio that he actually recorded Pet Sounds in. And they played live on set, and so I got to stop and start them, and just the energy of it, building those songs up, you know, it was awesome.
When you're doing that, there's no way you can in some way feel like you're Brian doing that, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it must really help the performance.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think you can feel it in the film, like the songs coming alive and sort of being built, and the energy that we had was, yeah, it was so fun. It was great.
Yeah. Well, brilliant performance, and it's a
Thank you.
great movie. It was great talking to you. Congratulations, Paul.
Thanks,
Thanks so
man.
much.
All right, cool.
Thank you.